Ayman Khan here for Seconds Out with one of my favourite people to speak to, Barry McGuigan. Barry, great occasion. We were just saying there off camera. For some people, they thought that Richie Riakporhe was set to get the victory, but Chris Billam-Smith proved them wrong and avenged the only defeat he's had in his professional career.
Yeah, exactly. But he keeps turning up and producing one amazing performance after another. Chris Billam-Smith is such a thoroughly decent and fabulous young man, hard grafter. People have said down through the years, he wasn't that talented. Yeah, but he outworked everybody, Ayman. He outworked everybody in the gym. He worked harder. He showed them all. He's such a great example. He's the father of the gym. No question about it. All the kids look up to him. Ellie was here tonight. Adam was here tonight. They're all here watching him because, he shows them something every fight. And we knew that Riakporhe, and let me tell you something, Richard Riakporhe is a tremendous fighter. Tremendous. Probably the most dangerous cruiserweight in the world. And look at how Chris Billam-Smith dealt with it. He was just spectacular. Completely, he's come on in leaps and bounds. His upper body movement, his head movement was exceptional. He kept offsetting Richard. He just didn't know when to punch. He didn't know when to throw. And in the meantime, Chris was hitting him with loads of punches. I thought it was a much wider win for Chris than they had it. But honestly, we're so proud of Chris Billam-Smith, and he deserves a big unification fight. We hope we can get Ramirez. Maybe Turkey Al Sheikh will take it out to Riyadh, and maybe we'll go to Vegas if the money's right and the opportunity for Chris to unify the title. But he's such a great man, such a lovely family, and we consider him like part of our family.
Unification's obviously on the horizon now, and for some people in the industry, the consensus is that Ayman might be number one, Chris Billam-Smith coming up a close second potentially. How close is the fight between the two, and do you feel that that's the next step for Chris?
Say that again, Ayman, with all the noise, the surround noise. I couldn't hear it. Say it again.
Not a problem. Unification's on the horizon for Chris Billam-Smith. For some in the industry, the consensus number one is Ayman.
Yes.
But Chris Billam-Smith, you'll have obviously at number one yourself. How close is the fight between the two at this stage?
I don't know about. To be honest, Chris has fought all of the tough guys, all of the tough fights. We're not for 1 minute suggesting that Ramirez is not a tough fight. But it's for us, it's a better opportunity. We can always fight Ayman after that, because we believe 100% that Chris will beat Ramirez, and we know that. I agree with you. Ayman is probably considered number one in the division, but very close second is Chris Billam-Smith.
You just mentioned there the other members of the gym. Adam Azim was supposed to be scheduled for a fight with Harlem Eubank. What's the latest with that?
Well, we think that's going to happen in the high summer, the end of summer. He's in great condition now. He's starting to train hard again. He's injured himself, and I don't want to get into that. So you probably know about it, Ayman. So he injured himself. That was why the fight was postponed. But he's back, and he's looking sensational as ever. I mean, Adam is probably one of the most talented kids I've ever seen. Multi-talent. But that's not what boxing's about. You have to add the experience, the toughness, all of that. So and he's slowly but surely turning into a great fighter. And I believe he will go on and win a world light welterweight or a world welterweight title.
Caroline Dubois, I feel like she's going to struggle to drag some of the current champions in because she's so talented and hasn't shown any weakness so far in a professional career.
I don't think any of them will want to fight her. And let me make a statement. Caroline Dubois will beat Katie Taylor and Chantel Cameron in the coming years if they're willing to put. The one thing about Katie Taylor does not run away from a challenge. But honestly, we see Caroline Dubois in the gym every day, and she is so good. My God, she is so talented. It's frightening. And she's going to be a world champion in a number of weight divisions. So, honestly, just wait and see. Just you wait and see.
Just get your thoughts quickly on a couple of wider things in the boxing sphere. First of all, I don't know if you saw the video of Tyson Fury intoxicated coming out of the pub. Concern heading into the Usyk rematch, seeing those images?
I wish people would leave him alone. You know, people need a switch off period. If he gets pissed and falls about the place, just leave him alone. He's a normal guy. I know he's a former world heavyweight champion, but he needs a break, you know, and he's had a lot of pressure. I mean, he's lived a solitude life for the last 6 months, training for the fight that fell through, and then training for the second one because of the cut, and the second time he prepared for Usyk. So it's a lot of hard work. He deserves a bit of a switch off period, but this is what modern telephones, everybody, you can never have privacy. You can never have a switch off period because everybody's got a camera and they're sticking it up on YouTube or they're putting it on Twitter. All the best, mate. So I feel bad for him, but I don't think he'll ever be able to beat Usyk. I think in the rematch, if it happens, Usyk will beat him more comprehensively. He was a whisker from getting stopped in the last fight. I think next time Usyk will stop him.
Appreciate that's a pretty conclusive answer or conclusion that you've come to regarding Fury's chances of beating Usyk. But would a drastic corner change your opinion in Fury's chances in a rematch? What could sway your opinion?
I just think, I mean, it's only my experience of having looked at fighters over the years and looking at their bodies and their ability to take punches, and then sometimes it happens that they lose the ability to take a shot and they don't have the same speed or they don't have the same condition. And I just think his time is as the heavyweight champion is running out. I honestly, God, think that had Fury fought Joshua would have knocked him out. But I think Usyk was too good for both of them, and in the rematch he'll stop Fury.
Daniel Dubois has now put himself in pole position for a fight with Joshua at Wembley. Look, people will write off his chances, but off of the back of the Jarrell Miller win, now Filip Hrgović taking two undefeated scalps there. How do you feel he fares against AJ?
You know, the thing about Dubois can punch so hard. It only takes a split second. You give him an opportunity, you create the space, you come over the top of a left jab, and anybody he hits, he can knock them out. So, having said that, Joshua is the favourite, but you've got to give Dubois a chance with anybody. And based on, he was losing, I thought, to Hrgović. Hrgović was beating him comprehensively, and then that cut happened and it was all over. But he's got a tremendous punch, and you've got to give him a chance with anybody. But again, I make Joshua's a more complete fighter. He's better all round. He can box and fight. So I definitely think that Joshua would be too much for him. But got a puncher's chance.
How much of it is mentality with Dubois?
Say that again.
How much of it is his mentality with Dubois and the time that you had with him when he was at the McGuigan gym? How different is he to every other fighter?
Oh, he was never in that sort of a crisis. He seems to me that when he gets into a critical situation, when he gets tired, dare I say it, there's a bit of quit in him. And I don't want to be unfair just because he left the gym. I'm just being honest. And you look at the fight against Usyk, and you look at the fight against the big fella Joe and Joe Joyce, and similar circumstances. People said he quit. He had an eye injury against Joyce, and he got out-schooled by Usyk, but he had him down. So there's a pretty high standards that he's keeping up to, but I just don't think that I think Joshua is a favourite, but in heavyweight boxing, Ayman, it only takes a split second of lack of concentration and you land a clean punch and the fight's over. So that can always happen. But again, as I say, you make Joshua favourite.
Very last thing, I imagine you have some strong opinions about Mike Tyson's return to the ring. It was cancelled, it's postponed, it's now been rearranged, and he will be fighting Jake Paul in some shape or form.
I wish he wouldn't do that. I have so much respect for Tyson. He's such a great fella. and he's such a great champion and formidable fighter. And I just hate to see these silly affairs. But maybe it's a money thing, and if it is, who can blame them? But I don't like them.
Barry, pleasure. Thank you for speaking Seconds Out. Congratulations on the victory.